This is FanSpeak, a weekly live show where the fans of comics and its community are our guests. Thank you very much for coming on today, Gary. This is our very first pro segment where we're going to invite some pros from various different parts of the comic book world and have them on and chat with them and get some insight and such from them. So you're our very first pro guest, and thank you very much for being here today, sir.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Right. Well, what we're going to do is all of us going to have some simple questions for you, and then after that we're going to talk about a Indiegogo of your own that'll be coming up in a few days.
Yeah, in about 7 days, actually.
7 days, excellent. A week out. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to ask the very first question, and this is going to be the same question that I'll ask every pro, so that our fan guests can figure out their questions without having to worry about which one I'm going to ask. My question is a very simple one for you, Mr. Shipman. Seeing as you're an artist and a great artist, many of us here have seen your stuff and enjoy it. Can you tell us what is your favorite character to draw?
Well, first of all, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for liking my artwork. My favorite character to draw. Wow, I'm getting a lot of messages here. That's a hard answer because I kind of can get into pretty much any character that I start drawing. Sometimes I don't even think that I'm necessarily going to enjoy it, and then I start and I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty fun. I just enjoy drawing. So pretty much any character. I mean, there are some things that I don't want to draw. I just don't have any desire to draw certain things that are real dark or, things like that, like evil and things like that. I do understand in comics, though, that you need a contrast. You need to have a hero and he's fighting evil. I really like that aspect of comics, the good versus the evil. And you have to show the evil so that you have a conflict. So, yeah.
Oh, excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much. Let's move on and to our next question for you. And I want to go ahead and have our new fan guests ask questions first. So let's go ahead to James, otherwise known as Doom. Why don't you go ahead and ask Mr. Shipman a question?
The only thing I can think of is, have you drawn Dr. Doom? And if so, where can I find it?
I have drawn Dr. Doom. Let me see if I can pull something and do a screen share. Yes, I love Dr. Doom. I think he's the perfect amount of evil to be depicted in comics, to only be thwarted by the Fantastic Four or whoever. But yeah, love Dr. Doom. Awesome. I'm looking right now to see if I have a picture that I can screen share for you. So give me a second.
Oh, no problem. That is a good question, Doom. Is that the only character you like? Are you Pope Fire-esque, Doom?
No, I like lots of characters. He's just my favorite.
That's cool. Anyone else here like a villain over heroes, or prefers a villain over heroes?
Me.
Depends on the villain and the hero more than anything.
I think Darth Vader's the one who gets that most of the time, right?
I think if someone prefers a villain, they should be put on some kind of watch list. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If your villain's not good, then your hero's kind of pointless. You have to have a
story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some people prefer the villains, though, right?
All right. Yeah, sociopaths.
I would say you got your Venom, your Joker, guys like that who are almost as popular as their counterpart. So
it's true. The Joker is certainly popular, especially with Mark Hamill doing him on the animated series. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So iconic.
Even Batman looks like a villain, He's all dark and black.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he is the Dark Knight. That's true. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there's some. There's
Oh, sorry. Just had a reaction there.
Got a little excited there.
Yeah.
James, have you ever seen Gary's art before?
Of course. Yeah, I watch his streams all the time.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff, and he does a lot of his Packers land stuff, which I don't want to. I'm sure someone will have that other question. So let's move on to our next question. So Luis, why don't you go ahead and ask Mr. Shipman a question? He's an artist and like yourself, and go right ahead.
I don't know. I want to be honest, but I really like your work on Doom here. It's really love the ink splatters. I'm really into that. Ooh, cool.
well, thank you.
Okay,
That's
He's
beautiful.
he's a fun character
Sorry.
to draw.
that's okay. No problem. So Booster, you got a question for Gary, man?
I definitely have a question. I definitely do. So, Gary, you saw my work on the fan edition of Drawn and Quartered. I was just wondering if you had any pointers for me to improve my artwork.
I was going to ask you if you had any pointers that I can improve my artwork.
That's what I was waiting for. Yes.
Because you killed it.
Thank you, man.
Totally
Well,
killed it.
first, you just got to get rid of all this paper and pen nonsense, all right? It's no good for you. You got to go straight to MS Paint and
All
use
right.
the shapes.
I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you.
Yeah.
Good. Good advice. Because I'm doing everything wrong.
Well, thank you very much, Booster. That was just the most amazing question, man. But that was hilarious, though. That Drawn and Quartered fan edition was fun. I enjoyed that a lot, actually. Okay, Mr. Thundar, you got a question for Mr. Shipman here?
I do. Hello, Gary Shipman. How are you today, bud?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. My question for you is actually the inverse of the question he just asked you. What would you say is your least favorite character to try and make look not terrible?
Least favorite.
Raven.
You're trying to get me in trouble. Least favorite. Boy, it's hard. I mean, I might think it in my head, like I might think, oh, drawing this character is going to be just a pain. Like even, okay, just initially, what comes to my head that I don't want to draw is probably some Transformers.
Oh,
But that doesn't mean that I don't like the Transformers. I just see all the work involved. They're so technical, all this stuff. And then being said, I drew some Transformers, and I really enjoyed it. So I can show you that if you want to see them. I think I did Megatron or something, but let's see here. I don't know if I put it on.
Another person who isn't a big fan of the Transformers.
What's that?
I said I've heard other artists who don't like the Transformers either.
Well, it's not that I don't like the Transformers. I just don't. It just seems like like a nightmare to draw them.
Is it hard to get emotion and action out of something like that?
Yeah, it's like it's a character that's a machine, and then to try to make it move and to give it some sort of feeling or emotion. That's Megatron, right?
Yeah, that's Megatron. Yeah.
I'd imagine that you'd have to completely revise how you draw something, right? You know, you're used to drawing people and such, and now you're drawing something more squared and got little bolts and bits everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, but I think it's more in my head because once I start doing pretty much anything, I have a good time with it. So like this Megatron, I enjoyed doing it, but when I was commissioned to do it, I was like, oh no, I got to draw Megatron. But it was fun. I had a good time.
it looks great.
Thank you.
Well, that's a very good question too, Mr. Thundaro. So let's see here. Pixel Trader, you got a question for Gary?
Yeah, actually, so I've looked at Gary's work, and he's definitely got different styles that he's experimented with. But I was curious, like, which one does he find to be the most appealing to him, like the most fun to draw in?
I enjoy doing the looser style. That's more my thing. Maybe I can pull something up here.
What do you mean by looser style?
It's just more. It's free. I almost don't even use a pencil. Like here's something that I did.
Aw, kitty.
That's cool.
And so yeah,
Nick bells.
Oh, that's cute.
So it's more like Mitch's style, because Mitch does the free looser style as well with his drawing.
Yeah, more of a gesture type thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I've only seen like his stuff on the Red Rooster, so I'm not exactly sure if it's the same thing or not. But if it is, then yeah.
It's pretty close, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a nice picture, nice bit of art. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll pull up another one so you can see like how it works with superheroes.
All right. Oh, there we go.
So I was gonna. This is a great time for me to kind of get in here with my question per se, and that is the fact that I see you do a lot of things like in Packin's Land, and your artwork seems to be very realistic, kind of gritty. It has everything seems to have more of a form that is more touchable and not just this two-dimensional, 4-color artwork. Is that different when you do something that is grounded and maybe earth-based versus cosmic? Does that change the way you're going to view or draw a character?
That is a good question. You know what? It all is very much an experiment with me. And even in my stream, like if you guys, those of you who've watched me draw, there's many times where I'm telling everybody, I feel like I'm laying down a mistake when I'm starting. I start making a mistake right away. And then it's how do I solve this problem? How do I correct the mistake that I've made, which is called art?
Sports bra, for example, sports bra.
Right. That
Thanks,
was
Denali.
Bigfoot Bill I drew, and it just went terribly wrong. It was hilarious. So if you want to go watch it on my channel, you can have a good laugh.
I thought it was good, actually. I liked it.
Thank you. But yeah, it's So if I was to do something like, let me see if I can pull up something that I did that would maybe be more cosmic looking. The first thing that comes to mind is Silver Surfer.
Oh, I love Silver Surfer.
So
look at that.
There's not a lot of space back there, but that's just what comes to mind. Yeah, I think that I kind of approach it the same way that I would with something that's more here in the real world, I guess you'd say. I don't know. It's cosmic is still real world, but it's just not something that we deal with regularly because we're here on Earth. So I hope that answered the question.
No, I think it's that was a very good question, actually, DeWolf. All right, well, Denali's the last one, so go ahead and ask your question, Denali.
Sure. Gary, I've been hearing that you are about to do a project and it's going to launch on a platform called Indiegogo. What is that project about?
I'm going to be doing a sketchbook. That's going to be my first Indiegogo, whatever you want to call it, venturing into Indiegogo to kind of get my feet wet, to figure out kind of the pitfalls. Hopefully I figured them all out before I'm going to launch here in about a week. But there are so many gray areas when it comes to doing crowdfunding and things like that, and trying to get a campaign going that, I could use probably all the help I can get. So, yeah, but it's going to be a sketchbook. Actually, I have it right here. So this is just the little thumbnail that I did for a video for launching the Indiegogo campaign for my 2018 sketchbook. But there's going to be like a ton of perks. The perks are equally as good, I think, to the actual sketchbook. One of the perks is going to be we're going to reprint the first issue of a comic book that I did back in the 90s called Packin's Land. And we did about like 18 issues of it, and then it stopped. And it's gone into kind of, oblivion, I guess you'd say. And so that the first issue, we're going to give that as one of the perks. You also would get a sketchbook, and it's going to have a new cover, and it's going to be exclusive to the Indiegogo campaign, the cover. And then we're also going to be at a different perk, giving the original art of that cover away in one of the. It's only going to be one, so it's like there's only one original. So sorry, but and then we're also going to have a calendar. That we're going to be giving away for 2019. It's going to be a Packin's Land calendar. And in that calendar, we're going to put the date, like mark it on the day, revealing that information of when we're going to be launching our Packin's Land Indiegogo campaign. So that's going to be in 2019 that the Packin's Land omnibus will be made available.
Nice.
Well,
Looking
awesome.
forward to that. Yeah.
And are you going to be using a fulfillment service, or are you going to be getting your kids and wife involved in all that packaging?
Yeah, right at this moment, we're going to be using my wife and kids and friends.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The Mike S. Miller path. I get it.
Right. Yeah. So, but if it gets too much out of hand, we may have to. But I'm not foreseeing. I think that we'll be able to handle it. I don't think it's going to be too overwhelming.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to it, especially seeing that later with the Packin's Land omnibus. I definitely want to get a hold of that. It's good looking. I have your other two sketchbooks, and they're wonderful. I've actually shared them with my kids' classes at my school, and they all enjoyed the art. So it's certainly kid friendly. But I guess the follow up to Denali's question would be, how are you going to go about? And one of the interesting things we did was you actually invited several of us on, and we built the Indiegogo with you, where we offered advice and help. And I thought that was great. And if I think people should go see that video, especially if they want to make an Indiegogo, just to get an understanding of what the process is. But as far as promoting this, how are you going to go about that? Are you going to be on Ethan's show and Mike's show? Or what's your plan for that?
This is something that still needs to be breached, I guess, because there are certain people that are real busy. They're like, I call them the big hitters, and so they have their own things going on, and it's hard to maybe get a hold of them. And so, I mean, I am totally willing to go on different people's channels on their show and talk about it. That's awesome to me. But really, it has to. I feel like it's other people. I mean, because they've run their own campaigns, and they're into fulfillment right now. They're drawing pages and they're slammed with work. So I totally get all that. And so I'm kind of just. I don't know. I'm not sure how to do it, but I'm willing to go on people's show. It's fine.
Well, I know Mike will have you on. I know Ethan will have you on. So I'm looking. I think, yeah, I know. And you understand that you have about 30 days of no sleep coming to you, right?
Yeah, along with all the other days that I've had no sleep.
Yeah, doing this YouTube is a busy thing, isn't it?
It sure is. Yeah.
William Reed has a comment for you from the chat. He says that he loves how we all voted on what Gary was putting in his sketchbook. And so did I.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
One thing I would definitely recommend is when you go onto EVS's chats, because he's going to have you on, like everybody said, he will. And he gives you that, hey, go ahead and pitch this, be ready for it. And I would even practice it, in all honesty. You're going to be in front of 1,500 to 2,000 people, all of which are potential customers. A lot of guys get up there and they fumble, and then their books don't get funded as fast. Whereas the guys who are up there and they know what they're ready to say, you don't have to say a lot, maybe a minute, just a quick little elevator pitch. And I think it'll help you a lot. I think it's something that everybody should make sure they're ready for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
that, by the way, Gary, is Mr. Thundaro. He is the mighty wrench of Ethan Van Sciver, by the way.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not only that, it's to keep pushing it, keep talking about it, mention it every time he can. Like one things I've noticed with Ben Jones, for instance, he's got Asgard out right now on Indiegogo. It looks fantastic. And he is making some money off it. But when he gets on the shows, he just chats about the things and he doesn't take the opportunities to pitch his work. Mitch did that, and look how much money Mitch made. So yeah, that's a good point, Mr. Thundaro. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Good advice.
All right.
So
Well,
if you guys want to be a part of my Indiegogo campaign, we're going to be giving away a 2018 sketchbook, which is going to rock, 60 pages. You're also going to get a ton of perks. See, I'm doing it right now.
yes, you are.
Yeah.
No, but
I
it's a
can't
good
wait.
point, man. It is a good point. I've seen people fumble just like Thundaro said, and you don't want to do that. You want to hit it and pitch it, because especially on Ethan's channel, I mean, you're looking at near 80,000 potential customers, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So
for for the highest ones like Ethan and Mitch, the way I saw them doing it, it's every stream they would talk to a topic and then tie it back to their product. He would, like Ethan, he would go off on the SJW. He's like, man, these SJWs, they're just loonies. They're blue head loonies. And, there's nothing you can say about them that, they won't get offended. I could just say happy and they'll be offended. What? You're telling me to be happy? And I'm here just drawing about
Telling
frogs.
women to
I'm just here
swallow
drawing
sex-
frogs. Go ahead.
I said telling women to smile is sexist.
it was. Well, they told us that when people said she looked boring in the trailer for Captain Marvel, and everyone says men are being sexist, asking women to smile. Oh my goodness. But
Very
anyway,
funny.
And actually, there's two good suggestions in the chat right now. Talk to Edwin and give him something. Just give him a piece of something to look at, something he can, because Edwin's fantastic at promotion. And his voice is obviously ridiculously nice. So
Yeah.
and I'm sure you do it. Edwin's a really nice guy.
Yeah, Edwin is nice.
Yeah,
I do like him.
the slight difference here too is it's a sketchbook, so you don't have to really pitch a story too much. You just have to get the art in front of people so they can see what they're getting.
Yep,
and,
that's right.
and really kind of hammer home, this is some of my favorite work. I really want to get it out in front of you. I just pitch like, you're getting me. They're getting Gary. They're getting to see what's behind the artist and what your favorite pieces are to show to them. And when you can make that personal connection and they can get a piece of your work and really see, because I know a lot of people want to know more about what you do. And you come on these streams and you do these really great pieces, and everybody's just locked and fixated on it because you knock out these beautiful portraits during the different shows and stuff. I'm sure more people want to see your work.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Gary, and being our guest and allowing us to practice on you, sir. We're trying to get better at what we're doing. So thank you for that. And thank you for everyone watching. We are really trying to build up a community here. We're trying to get more people involved in what we're doing. I want to thank all the fans, guests we had on here today. I want to thank Luis for coming on and being a fan with us, but also talking about his Indiegogo. Thank you also for James, otherwise known as Doom, for coming on, a new guest this week. And this was a lot of fun. We had a good show. And so everyone, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this. We really want to build this community up. And don't forget to go over to FanSpeak, and like we mentioned earlier, put your art there, put your comic book reviews. Let us share that with this community. And so thank you all once again, and everyone, all our fans, say goodbye to the people.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, people.
Oh,
Bye.
bye, everybody.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.